Many school officials blame cell phones for interfering with their students' ability to learn.
In a North Central Florida school district, high school students will now have to put their phones away, out of reach during school hours. TV3's Misty Webb tells us why parents in Dixie County are split on the new policy.
The cell phones are too prevalent.
School officials announced Dixie County high school students will no longer be allowed to use cell phones during school hours. They asked that parents remind their children to keep their phones turned off and stored in their lockers or bags throughout the school day. Throughout social media, residents are sharing their thoughts on this. Many people say they support it, but many people also say they do not. One parent says social media is bad for kids' mental health.
I've dealt with some stuff with my child and bullying on social media, and like I said, I know the school can't control that. So it helps that they're not at school recording fights, making threats.
Another parent wants phones in case of an emergency.
We recently had an incident with my son, who is an 8th grader, where he had a severe head injury where he was bleeding. My son had enough time to make 4 phone calls, and I still never heard a phone call from the school.
A former student says she has concerns.
Speaking as a student, I definitely was on my phone a lot. Getting an education is important, learning is important, and that's why you're going to school. But at the same time, in case something happens, a medical emergency, then students definitely need to have an opportunity to reach for their phone.
If there is an emergency, parents can contact the front office to get the children a message. Superintendent Mike Thomas says phones will be allowed for instructional purposes, such as logging in for dual enrollment classes, but they are doing this to provide a distraction-free learning environment. Misty Webb, TV 20.